Tonight, we have two forums, and this first forum is our third of four forums, and it's starting with the San Gorgonio Pass Water Agency Division 2. Beaumont City Council will follow at about 8 o'clock. So for San Gorgonio Pass Water Agency Division 2, we have 4 candidates. 3 of them are here with us tonight: CHANDER LETULLE, Jared Doge, and Tim Smith. Candidate Robert Ibarra declined to participate tonight. Our moderator tonight is Juan de la Fuente. Juan is a longtime resident of the Pass area and city of Beaumont, and he also serves on the Parks District Foundation Board. He administers a couple well-known Facebook pages in the area, the Three Rings Ranch Facebook page and the Pass Area Patriots. Juan also serves as the Banning Police Department chaplain. So he'll be our moderator tonight. I'll let him introduce the candidates and we'll get going. It's all yours, Juan.
So each candidate will begin with a 3-minute introductory statement. The candidates collaborated on a short list of questions to each other and agreed on 3 questions they will be asked tonight. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer a question, and then the other candidate will also be allowed 2 minutes to answer the same question. The candidates will alternate in the order of making their statements and answering the questions. We'll start by reading Mr. CHANDER LETULLE's. CHANDER LETULLE has a BS in Environmental Science and a Master of Science in Water Systems Engineering from the University of California of Riverside. He has worked in the water resources and water treatment industry for over 20 years. CHANDER currently serves as an executive director and oversees the activities of the Engineering Operations and Water Resources Division for the Jurupa Community Service District. CHANDER has served on several appointed boards as both a technical advisor and a policymaker. He most recently served for 4 years as an appointed advisor to the California State Water Resources Control Board. He has an extensive experience in the formulation and implementation of the policies and strategies for the large governmental organizations. You have 3 minutes.
All right, thank you. As Chaplain De La Fuente said, my name is CHANDER LETULLE. What a privilege it is to have this opportunity to share some insights with the community into who I am and the passion that I have for water. Before I begin, I just want to say thank you to Mr. Lloyd White, Chaplain De La Fuente, and everyone behind the scenes supporting the Inland Empire Taxpayers Association for making this evening happen. My family, which includes my wife Tammy and our 2 children, Paul Michael and Chastity, have been residents of the Pass area since 2005. We moved our family from Santa Barbara to the San Gorgonio Pass area for its richness and community, the changes in season, and all of the outdoor offerings. We absolutely love our neighbors, the friends we've made when we lived off of Hargrave Street in Banning, and the new ones we're making today now that we live in Sundance North community. Chaplain De La Fuente shared some highlights of my education and my work experience. In addition to my education as a water systems engineer, I hold several licenses issued by the state of California for the treatment and distribution of water. I've been a California water industry leader for over 20 years. Most of my professional experience has been working in an adjudicated groundwater basin, much like the Beaumont Basin. I'm familiar with the many challenges and the extraordinary opportunities that come with working with a large, diverse community. At times it can feel as if different members have competing priorities and needs. I've always found a way to not only see the glass half full, but also to lead those around me to do the same. In addition to my professional experience, I've had several positions that have helped me prepare to serve the residents within Division 2 as an elected board member. My passion for water, my education, and experience make me an ideal candidate to represent the residents in Division 2. I'm running for office to help ensure we have water for tomorrow. Thank you.
Dr. Jared Doge is a licensed clinical psychologist and had worked for the Loma Linda University Behavioral Medicine Center for 5 years. and his own private practice. Breakthrough Psychology Group, which was started up this year. His clinical skill is working with families, children, and adults at the individual and group levels. He is a former public teacher in California at the secondary level, teaching English and social science for 4 years. He has been associated with many public and religious activities, including Loma Linda Charities for their medical center and children's hospital, and was a varsity scout leader through the Boy Scouts of America for 7 years. Dr. Doji, or Dr. Jared, as many of the colleagues refer to him, has a passion for working with others to resolve differences and making empathetic connections, which is a skill he could bring to the PASS agency if elected.
Thank you, Chaplain.
That's fine.
Thank you, Lloyd White and the Inland Empire Taxpayers Association for this chance to talk to you guys. I am Dr. Jared Dogi. I'm a psychologist. I'm not a politician. I love water. It's my favorite drink. That's why I'm here, kind of, but I'm also here because I'm a big-time conservationist too. I think water is an important resource, especially down here in Southern California, and this is something that we should keep an eye on and try to help others with. And that's kind of why I'm here today. Yes, you heard about me being a psychologist and whatnot, but that's the main thing I want to do. My skill is to bring people together to help work through issues and problems. That's what I do for a living. I help people work through their problems because the people's problems are everybody's problem, especially when it comes to water. I have a grassroots campaign. I'm not taking any money from anyone. I'm not taking any funding. I'm just out there on the street, just trying to find out what people need, just trying to rub elbows with you and to get to know you better. Although I don't take any interest or money from anybody, I have gotten the endorsement of Mike Thompson, who is the current director in District 2. He's done a really good job the last 4 years of lowering your water-related property tax, and he knows I'll do the same thing, and that's what I want to fight for you, and making sure everything's fair. There are 3 candidates here tonight. We're missing one. It's too bad. I would like to hear what he had to say. The Dodgers game's on, so maybe that's the issue, but otherwise, hey, I'm glad to meet these 2 individuals, both Tim and Chandler, and I'm glad to be here to be able to talk to you a little bit about the water, our district, our community, in a time where there's a lot of divisions in the world. This is something I think that we can all come together with, and that's something I feel I can do if I'm elected to the District 2 Water Agency Directorship. Thank you very much.
Okay. Timothy Smith has a BA in Communications from Cal State Fullerton. He is married with 4 sons. He is a retired newspaper printer, journalist, and teacher. Living in the Pass area for 15 years has allowed Timothy to study and report on the water needs of our community. As a reporter for the Record Gazette, part of his beat was to cover the San Gorgonio Pass Water Agency Board, engineering and budget meetings of our regional wholesale water distributor. Timothy toured the state water project hosted by SGPWA and was excited to witness the origin of the state water project at the Lake Oroville Dam north of Sacramento on the Feather River. The hydroelectric generators inside the dam are massive and quite humbling. Working as the public information officer for Beaumont Cherry Valley Water District, Timothy compiled and submitted an application for the annual National Groundwater Storage Award in 2008. The award submission was for the storage ponds at Beaumont Avenue and Cherry Valley Boulevard, and the Water District won first place. You have your
My name is Timothy Smith. The banning contingent for the Division 2, since our division covers Central Banning and Sundance communities. So the water, I got a taste of it working as PIO for the Beaumont Cherry Valley Water District. I enjoyed it, and I see the need for the imported water that the Pass Agency provides with the overdraft in the Beaumont Basin. It's going to be an ongoing job to keep the water flowing, to keep us in water for the future. With the growth you see in Sundance, and now you see the growth in Banning, we definitely need the water to keep up with the housing. At some point, we're going to have to say enough's enough because we can't keep up with it. They're looking at about 2040. We're going to be maxed out on the amount of water we can get. But remember, California has done really well with their water conservation. When I got here in 1957 with my family from Charlotte, North Carolina, there's 14 million people in the state. Now there's 40 million people in the state. We're still living on the same water. So we've done a good job. Everybody's done a good job conserving, planting drought-tolerant plants in their yards, and being responsible with their water. That's why I say my campaign slogan is water smart is water wise. If we use our water smartly, it's a wise thing to do for the future of our community. Touring the State Water Project was quite exciting and eye-opening. I was surprised at how much water is actually in the Sacramento Delta. I'd never actually toured the area, and it's phenomenal. Then I saw when they started EBX2 under the Santa Ana River from San Bernardino into Mentone, which is our lifeline, and then it comes from there into Cherry Valley, where it's distributed into the percolation ponds here and the San Gorgonio Pass percolation ponds on the other side of Beaumont Avenue below the high school. And that's our lifeline, is to keep the Beaumont Basin aquifer as full as possible, so we don't have to, we can survive any droughts. Thank you.
The first question will go to Jared. What actions should the San Gorgonio Pass Water Agency take to increase import water volumes, and within what time period?
Good question. This is a great question in regards to the water retailers. As far as I know, the Pass Agency is a water wholesaler. As the Pass Agency goes, they answer to the people in the city and the county. When it comes to this question and the allocation of water and whatnot, that's up to the retailers and the managers. What I would like to see is maybe people communicating better about what the people do need in the cities and the counties. I think that's something I can bring to the water agency. There has been, as far as I know, there has been friction in the past between agencies and districts. I'm someone that can help kind of bring people together, help people talk and communicate. You can't communicate without listening, and I think that's something that the community can do a little bit more of. Yes, we live in an area where it's quite arid, and we do need that water that comes in. We do want to make sure our reserves are full, and we want to take care of our families in the future. But like I said, the Pass Agency looks to wholesale the water sale. So their focus, from what I know, is to try to do what's best for the community at the wholesale level. And that's something I can do, and I feel like I'm still comfortable doing if elected to this position, which I would really like to help out with. Thank you.
The next question, the same question rather, to Chander. What action should the San Gorgonio Pass Water Agencies take to increase import water volumes, and within what time period? You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Juan. The first question we have to answer is, do we need more import water? In its simplest form, the question is about supply and demand. How much water is the agency and nature recharging into our local groundwater basins, and how much water is being pumped out of the ground today and in the foreseeable future? With a fair amount of accuracy, we can project how much water the agency is putting into the ground, as it's largely based on the water rights that are currently owned and also availability. As far as nature, that's a wild card. Is it going to be a wet year or a dry year? And if it is a wet winter, how much of that's going to be snow versus just a hard rain that washes away to the ocean? Like I said, that's a wild card. So the next factor is demand. How much water is being pumped out of the ground today? And what are the population growth projections from now until ultimate build out of the pass area? Once you have data on supply, demand, future projections, you can map out a timeline to determine how much import water is needed and when it's needed. Bottom line, I don't have all the data to be able to answer that question. But here's what the available data indicates. We've put slightly more water into the ground than we've taken out for the last several years. However, our water demand has increased by 15% in the last 3 years. 23 of the 76 monitoring wells have seen a decline of 5 feet or more. The pass service area is continuing to grow both commercial and residential properties. So in conclusion, yeah, the agency needs to take action. We need to increase the amount of import water, and the time to act is now. Thank you.
What actions should the San Gorgonio Pass water agencies take to increase import water volumes, and within what time period? We have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Juan. Importing water is an ongoing endeavor. It started out with the State Water Project when it began in 1961, and it still goes on today. The Pass Agency is currently working on several plans to solidify our Table A water, which is 17,300 acre feet a year. But we rarely get that. I think the highest I've ever seen the delivery is 75%, which was last year. And this year, at this point, we're at 20% of that 17,300 acre feet. So what's going on with we get water from other agencies, and we get water from Nickel Water, which is up in the off the Kern River. We get 1,700 acre feet per year from them. San Bernardino Water District, we get 5,000 acre feet a year from them in wet years. If it's not a wet year, we get less. We also get some Yuba water, which is way up at the headwaters of the State Water Project. That's 200, 300 acre feet a year. And the big one is we're building in a consortium with some other water agencies to build what's called the Sites Reservoir, which is up in the Sacramento Valley, but it's south of the Sacramento Delta. So we're going to be, when that's completed, we're going to be able to gain 10,000 acre feet a year. And Beaumont Cherry Valley is going to buy 4,000 acre feet a year. So that's going to be sustainable water. It's just completing that project for the Sites Reservoir. And with the other ones, the Nickel, the San Bernardino, the Yuba, we're always looking for other organizations that can provide water for us that they don't need. Okay. And
so the next question is for you as well.
Okay.
What is your position on a pass agency's capacity fee?
Well, at this point, the pass agency does not charge a capacity fee. It charges the retailers a fee for the water they purchase. And then the retailer can charge a capacity fee or just water rates. I know the Beaumont Cherry Valley Water District has what they call pass-through charges, which is whatever water they purchase from us, they pass it through to the ratepayers. The water they get out of the Beaumont Basin on their own is just charged at a standard rate. The banning, I'm not sure. I tried to get a hold of general manager, couldn't raise him, and Perry was out on the field. But San Gorgonio Pass Agency survives on ad valorem taxes, which is what you see on your tax bill. You see that in Banning, you see it in Beaumont, Calamasa, Cabazon, etc. And the Pass Agency has been able to drop their ad valorem taxes the last 4 years, 0.25% each year. So they dropped it 1% over the last 4 years, which benefits the ratepayers. Part of that's due to the new community in Sundance, all those new homes. So we're bringing in more ad valorem taxes, so we don't need as much as we did. So they're backing down the rates. We're a wholesaler. We bring it in, we pay for it, wholesale to bring it in. Then it goes to the retailers and they distribute it to the retailers and the ratepayers. Okay. Thank you.
What is your position on a pass agency's capacity fee?
Thank you, Chaplain. I'm for it. It's controversial. Make no doubt about it. I mean, it's money. The city has to be running money, and we need money to pay for water, and it needs to go places with, of course, money. I think the most important thing about the capacity fee is that people are paying for what they need to fairly. It's not fair for people who've been in this area for a very long time to pay double the taxes. So you charge a capacity fee on who? The homes that are coming up, like Sundance, like North Sundance. I live in North Sundance. I get it. Hey, I've only been in the area about 4 years, but I see the need. We see building that's going up. Just go up, I should say, you can go up and down Highland Springs. If you want to brave the construction right now and see that there's tons of homes being built on the Banning side of Highlands so that they're going to need water. But who's going to pay for that? The capacity fee. That's where it comes from. It makes sense. It's fair. I'm for it. And I think when people see exactly what that means and how it helps others, I think they'll be for it too. That's what I got. Thank you.
Chander, what is your position on a pass agency's capacity fee?
Thank you, Juan. I think we begin with what is a capacity fee. And it's just like it sounds, right? It's a fee to cover the cost of increasing the agency's capacity. Capacity for what? Well, we're talking about water rights. As the Pass area continues to develop commercial, residential property, the agency, it needs to purchase additional water rights so that we can keep the deposits of water balanced with the withdrawals. I'm sure we can all understand what happens when you withdraw more from your checking account than you deposit. The spending stops, and in our case, that means growth in the area stops. Typical cost to purchase new water rights is estimated at about $6,200 per acre foot. Average single-family residence uses about half an acre of water per year. So a capacity fee of approximately $3,800 for a single-family home makes sense. Capacity fee is all about new development, paying their fair share, so the agency can ensure that a plentiful supply of high-quality water is available for our children and our grandchildren. Something I'm sure we all want to see happen. Thank you.
Well, the third and final question goes back to you, Chander. What are your concerns with basin overdraft and water quality constituents such as total dissolved solids, nitrates, and others?
Thank you, Juan.
Welcome.
So as one of the 29 state water contractors, the agency has water rights, as Mr. Smith said earlier, 17,300 acre feet of year from the state water project. However, the average annual allocation of table A water is about 60%, or 10,500 acre feet a year. Now, the agency also has a water lease of about 1,700 acre feet through 2036. And then we have a safe yield, or another way of saying that is a natural recharge for the Beaumont Basin at about 6,700 acre feet. So what can we reliably count on? Well, when averaged over a multi-year period, we can count on about 12,000 acre feet of year of imported water, plus the 6,700 of natural recharge, so about 18,500 acre feet. So in 2018, the production or the withdrawal from the Beaumont Basin was 16,900 acre feet. So we deposited 18,500, we withdrew 16,900. For now, we're doing okay. The issue is we only have one main supply of water, and until a project is completed in the Delta, the State Water Project is not a reliable source. So I don't know about you, but for me, 60% is a failing grade. We need to secure other sources of water. We need to diversify the portfolio. So that's on the supply side. So let's talk a little bit about the quality side. As far as water quality and the concerns over total dissolved solids, nitrates, and other constituents such as Chrome-6 and PFAS and a multitude of others, the agency and all of its retail partners have to continuously monitor water quality and the ever-changing regulations that the great state of California continues to implement to protect us. The state of the basin today is great. We have little to no concerns with any primary or secondary drinking water standards. In other words, we have a high-quality source of drinking water right here. Thank you.
Timothy? Same question. What are your concerns with the basin overdraft and water quality constituents, such as total dissolved solids, nitrates, and others?
Yes, the Beaumont Basin's been in overdraft for several years. What that means is that we're drawing down the water table quicker than it can be replenished, and that's where the State Water Project comes in, that we buy our wholesale water from, to replenish the basin and keep it up to a good functioning level. The Beaumont Basin is a pristine water source. If you think about it, we're the first water that comes out of the San Bernardino Mountains, right here. And it is the purest water you're going to get anywhere. But with the overdraft, we need to replenish it, so we get it from the San Joaquin Delta, the Sacramento area, and it comes down, and we purchase it wholesale. We sell it to the retailers, Beaumont Cherry Valley Water District, Banning Water District, Calamasa Water District, Yucaipa. They're the ones that are responsible for the water quality that goes to the ratepayers. When we get the water, it's pretty clean, and we just pump it into the ground. So Beaumont Cherry Valley, Banning, et cetera, they pump it out of the ground when they need it. The storage tanks around town, that has been pumped out of the basin, and they treat that water right there on site. And then it goes to the homes. And so it's their responsibility to mitigate the nitrates and the solids that get caught up in the water. Part of the problem here in the Beaumont Basin is there's an unusual amount of solids and nitrates, and that's due to the fact that Cherry Valley that sits above us is primarily on septic tanks. So that's going to leach into our pristine Beaumont Basin. And so eventually it has to be treated with at the water storage tanks and before it goes out. And there's several ways they can mitigate that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Jared, same question. What are your concerns with basin overdraft and water quality constituents such as total dissolved solids, nitrates, and others? 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's a concern. You know, if you overdraft the water, that's a bad thing. Bad things can get in the water. I think that should be a concern for everybody. This isn't just the water for now, this is going to be the water for future generations. But as the past agency goes, this is something that the retailers work into fixing and looking into. As a wholesale entity, the pass looks to service the city and the county. So the question is what can we do for the city and the county? What can we do for the people? Can we make consultation? Can we be concerned about the state of the water? Absolutely. Is it a concern that needs to be validated? Yes. But as the pass agency goes, they know that the retailers are the ones that are in charge of that. they see the need that maybe they can need some support, that's fine. What we can do is just conserve water. We as consumers can be careful. Maybe cut down on pollution. That's some of the things that we can do as consumers. But as somebody who would be possibly voted on the PASS agency, I want to make sure that people are getting the water that they need. Other people can make sure it's clean, they can make sure it's good to go. That's what we would do in the agency if any one of us is elected that position. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we will conclude with 1 minute of the closing statement, and we will start with Timothy.
One thing I'd like to see come to fruition in the PASS area is use of recycled water. Beaumont Cherry Valley already has a system designed and in place. They just need to get the water treated and get it flowing. That will reduce our water usage substantially. Water in, water out. That'll be long term, that'll be great for our overdraft in our basin. Banning is a long ways off on it, but they talk about it. But as far as I know, they haven't done anything with it yet. So if we can get them on board with the recycled water, it'd be wonderful for all of us in our water basin. This is my last campaign for public office, and like Mr. Dogie, I'm paying for my own campaign. I'm not taking outside influence. It's just me, and I'm answering to my constituents. Thank you. Thank you.
Jared, we'll go ahead and go to you. We've got 1 minute.
Thank you. It was John F. Kennedy that said, ask not what Banning and Beaumont can do for you, but what you can do for Banning and Beaumont. You didn't really say that. Okay. But you get the point. We're in the community. We should help each other out. What can I do for the community? This is what I want to do for the community. I'd love to be in the agency. Had I ever thought about running for a political office before? No. But man, I really care about the community. I love this community. I love you guys. I really appreciate the opportunity. I've had to move here in my family. My wife and my younger son, Nathan, you know, my wife Stacy, my younger son Nathan, we enjoy it here. We've been nothing but welcome since we've been here. I would love to serve you guys in this capacity. So remember, don't think arid, think Jared. Dr. Jared Dogie for the PASS Water Agency, District 2. Thank you.
Chander, your closing statement.
Thank you, Juan. Closing statement is vote for LETULLE. Why? I'm an experienced water systems engineer with roots in this community, and I want to see those roots grow for many, many generations. My commitment is to make every drop count by ensuring transparency, accountability, efficiency, and planning. I plan to represent Division 2 residents, ensuring sound fiscal management, and very important to me is that there's an ample supply of high-quality water available. Vote for me, and when you tuck your grandkids in for the night, you can rest assured that water is one less thing you have to worry about. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. That concludes the San Gorgonio PASS Water Agency's Division 2 Forum. I'd like to thank the candidates for being here, and also like to thank you all that were watching. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you.